Hello, my name is Victor. I'm with EasyWorks, and I'll be walking through the demonstration with you today. The first step is opening up a browser of your choice. We prefer Google. It tends to be a little faster than the other browsers, but the application does work in any browser that's out there. So we've already provided you with a website address to launch the application from within the browser. So you just go ahead and type it in. You'll see the application will load up with the login screen. I'm going to log in with my username and password. Now you'll see, because I am an administrator, I have several more icons here than the standard user with limited access rights. So you'll see I have more buttons and more desktops here on the left menu bar. So we could begin by launching our product here. The product we're going to be starting up is product A. So you could just add 1 here to the inventory column and begin it by clicking the button here, which will launch the traveler. And you'll see our first step is the material preparation step. You'll notice that the step description here contains some of the work instructions for the operator to use. And as I hover over some of the items, you'll see the tooltips that are available on all the items here. The product begins the traveler by getting serialized, which is automatically entered here in the serialized name value box. And the first step is selecting the location for the material preparation. There's only one in this instance, so you go ahead and select it. And after the processing is complete, you go ahead and sign off the step here. You see the tooltip, click to move to next step. Click it, and it'll give you a confirmation if you want to continue to the next step, which is dispense. Go ahead and click OK. Now you'll see that we're at the next step, which is dispense, and the same process is repeated. With this step, it would most likely be with a different user, since the product is moving from one step to another, but for the demonstration purposes, I'm just going to remain logged in, and I currently have access rights to sign off any step in this workflow. So we'll select the dispenser. This is going to lead us to the equipment dispenser and the two options available here. I'll just go ahead and select D1, and we add it to our equipment. And you'll see this icon change up here. This allows us to begin the equipment flow for dispense. So you click it to start the process, and this would be, it could be any number of steps you wish to have in the dispense equipment. You could have a whole nother flow within this traveler here. We just have one step. We'll sign it off, and we'll complete this equipment flow. Message box telling us it's been completed. And it takes us back to the original traveler here, and you'll see we're now at the filter step. Now this is a step that requires 2 signatures to complete. So we'll begin it by choosing the filter again. Just choose F1, and I'll add it. See, the filter is now in here, and I could begin this filter equipment flow. And once again, you could have any number of steps in this flow. We just have one, and this requires a sign-off. You'll see the note there, 2 required. So I'll go ahead and sign it off and ask me for my password. I'll approve it. So now you'll see there's one signature here, and just to demonstrate, I'll try and sign it off here. It'll give me a warning I cannot move it. Missing data. Again, I can't do it. This step requires 2 signatures. So I'll go ahead and open up another browser. Now you see I have a different browser up. I'm going to use Firefox this time and log in with a fictitious user. Now, this particular user has limited access rights, and this is what I was discussing earlier. His login is real simple. He has an active parts button here and an active traveler. So when he logs in, he needs to see what his current tasks are. He could just log into the active travelers, and he'll see the traveler that we finished off with under my username. So he just opens the traveler, and here you'll see that it's in the filter step. So he goes to equipment flow, and you'll see that I signed it off already, and he could perform his function and approve it. Now once Steve Randall approves this part, you'll see he has no access rights to continue on. So the traveler closes. He could try opening it again, but the part has moved to the next step, which he does not have access rights. His particular duties are limited to that particular filter sign-off step. So eventually this will be removed when the system refreshes, and it will no longer display in his active traveler. But if you just hit refresh, you'll see that it also disappears. So I'll go ahead and log off here once again and log back in. So now we'll go ahead and continue logging in to finish off the flow. And we'll take a look at my current active traveler list. You'll see that there's quite a bit more. This is also for demonstration purposes. The traveler that we're working on is up here, E82. So I'll open it, and we can see that it's now the final step, which is pack. We go ahead and select our packing equipment. There's 2 to choose from. We select either, add it, and begin the equipment flow. And go ahead and sign this step off. Now, since this is our final step, it gives us the warning or message box that lets us know we're about to finish the flow. Click OK, and it indicates that our traveler has now been completed. And that's it. That completes the product A flow. Now we can go ahead and view our WIP report, which is on the traveler desktop with the work in progress icon. You go ahead and click the report. Its default settings is just going to show the part names. We want to show the part UIDs for this instance. Check it and refresh the report. Now the good thing about the reports in MES is that you can pretty much click on any of these items here. So we could choose, we'll just choose this one here. And it opens up the part record, and you can see the history of this particular part, and you can see how it's been signed off, the date in, date out, going through each step here, down to the final pack step, which was last signed in at August 13th, 1711. And it still remains in the step that hasn't been signed up. So that's a brief demonstration of the EVMES system. We'll be reviewing it over the phone, I believe, shortly. So hope to hear from you soon.